companies in 5 continents to increase ROI and make difference with content. Her content has driven results for both her clients and her own business, including reader engagement, SEO, and actual revenue. Ayele will be sharing secrets marketing professionals won't tell you. And I have to say that Ayele is the glue that holds our group together.
Countless digital Inc. has been bored over that little buy now button that separates a prospective customer from making a purchase and converting herself into a paying customer. Marketers spend a lot of time scrutinizing that little button, testing different button sizes, different locations on the page, different copy, different text on the button, and of course, its colors. I mean, who doesn't love a buy now button, right? Well, turns out that when customers see this little button, they feel like they've been punched in the gut. Yeah, so brain research actually shows that the same area in our brains that gets activated when we're in physical pain also gets activated when we're asked for our credit card information. Yeah, and so how do we get customers from that feeling to not only buying from us and maybe paying more than they would our competitors, but also being happy about it? Now there's a lot that goes into it, but I figured that today we could start by talking about the Jennifer Aniston brain cell. Now, it's probably not what you think, but we'll get to Jennifer Aniston in a second. I'll try not to fall in the middle of moving on. So, as marketers, we usually market to human beings, of course, and if you are a human being, you know that you react strongly to other human beings. And in fact, as I wrote for Emonomy, a 2008 Israeli study discovered that radiologists, when they interpret medical exams, they pay extra attention if there's a photo of the patient attached. So marketers know that if they put a photo of a human face next to the text that's supposed to get you to take action, you are more likely to take the action. For example, when LinkedIn released a report and it wanted its audience to download it, it tested 2 different types of images. A photo next to the same text, okay? So a photo of a hand scrolling a phone versus a photo of a human face. And the photo with the version with the human face actually got more people to click the button and download the report. But you're probably asking yourselves, so okay, but what does it have to do with Jennifer Aniston, right? Well, if you don't know Jennifer Aniston, she is a famous movie actress, and she's best known for her role as Rachel Green on the sitcom Friends. And actually, in a 2005 epilepsy study, it was discovered that there's a cell in our brain that lights up when we see one specific type of person, and nothing else. It doesn't react to anything else. And in one patient, that brain cell only reacted to Jennifer Aniston. Nothing else. It did not react to anything else. So Canva, the photo editing site, nicknamed it the Jennifer Aniston brain cell. Now, I want you to remember this because we're going to come back to that. But in reality, that brain cell is not necessarily common for that brain cell to only react to one specific person. It's usually one specific type of person. Alright, so somebody that we have strong emotions towards, somebody who we know or we feel like we know, so we're talking our friends, our family, celebrities, politicians, stuff like that. Okay? And that actually takes us to the next study, this time from New York, that about what marketing psychology expert Derek Halpern called the Rava effect. And what researchers did was they took photos of non-famous people and they put them next to photos of famous people. And the people weren't photographed together, okay? It was just one photo next to the other photo. But when research participants saw these photos, they evaluated that the non-famous person was more famous than they actually were. Okay? But here's the thing. Smart marketers, they don't just put random people's photos next to each other and hope that you believe there's some sort of connection. No. Smart marketers create the connection. So when Derek Halpern, for example, started his company Social Triggers, he was known, as he calls it, a punk kid who knew a lot about marketing and psychology. So what he did was he started a podcast where he interviewed world-renowned academic researchers in the field of marketing psychology. And after that, since then, people have been referring to him as a marketing psychology expert, just as I did when I first mentioned him today. Of course, there are other ways to do that. There's a guy called Robert Cialdini, who his research specializes in the psychology of influence. And he wrote a book called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. One of his top persuasion strategies that he explains that is very, very common with marketers is called social proof. And what that means is that you're going to go to a company's website and you're going to see how many email subscribers they have, unless they don't have many yet. You're going to see which popular television shows or websites mention them, and you're going to see lots and lots and lots of customer testimonials and even customer success stories where customers share what were the challenges, how did this company help them overcome these challenges, and what results they saw thanks to that. And you're going to see probably the customer's full name, their position if it's relevant, and of course, their photo. But hold on a bit, because we're talking about connecting to companies based on emotion, connecting them to them emotionally based on human face, right? But how come we love Coca-Cola so much if it doesn't have a human face? Or how can Starbucks keep raising its prices and not lose customer loyalty even though it doesn't technically have a human face directly associated with its brand? Because remember, the same area of your brain that gets activated when you're in physical pain also gets activated when you ask for your credit card information. Well, it turns out it doesn't happen every time you ask for your credit card information. According to the book Brainfluence, some people, you can see in their brain scans that that area gets activated during pain when they're paying for one product, but their brain scans show no signs of pain at all when they buy another product. So, is it the product? Is it how it's manufactured? Well, blindfolded tests of Coca-Cola versus Pepsi show that not everybody can differentiate between the two solely based on taste. And in an interview with Ford, the founder of Virgin America, Richard Branson, actually said that all the big airlines buy the airplanes from the same manufacturers, two manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. And in a BBC documentary, it was revealed that one factory in Italy, manufactures the sunglasses for Chanel, Burberry, Dolce & Gabbana, Ralph Lauren, Donna Karan, and a list of other brands. And the same factory, same machines, same employees, the same factory even helps these brands design the sunglasses. So, what's going on? I mean, how can some companies succeed while others don't? How can some companies differentiate themselves and create a direct emotional connection with us, while others don't? Well, like I said at the beginning, it's very complex. There's a lot that goes into it. But the basis of all that, the foundation of the secret that smart marketers understand is that it's never, ever, ever about the company. It is always about the customer. It's about their needs and how it can help them. And so smart marketers understand this, that they understand that their customers are human, So they work really hard to humanize their brand. They work really hard to develop brand personalities and brand voices that feel human and feel like something we can connect with emotionally. And like Mary Beach, the Chief Marketing Officer of the fashion brand Kate Spade New York said at a conference at Columbia Business School, a great brand of voice is one that reflects the customer, who they are now and who they want to be. And a Kate Spade customer, for example, is a woman living in a large city looking to lead a more interesting life. So she goes to office parties, and she goes to Sunday brunches and nights at ballet, and having all this information about the customer helps the company choose blog post topics, choose visuals for their Instagram, choose the type of content that will be written in notes when the customer picks up a handbag in some of their stores. It also helps them develop the tone of voice that will come across from their Twitter account, and the type of references that their content will make. So if you are the ideal customer and you read or watch their content, you will feel like you're talking to a good friend, a friend that gets you, a friend that has the same goals and the same aspirations. Okay? So marketers work really hard to find out what are their customers' goals and aspirations. They do market research, they spend a lot of time on social media, they study social media discussion groups, they study book reviews on Amazon, they talk to people in their target audience, and all this information, all this deep understanding that they get of their top customers, their ideal customer, helps them shape the type of brand personality that feels human, it feels like their number one customer can connect with. And that taps into the Jennifer Aniston brain gap. Because as the BBC revealed, the same cell in our brain that lights up when we see photos and faces of the people we love most also lights up when we see the logos of our favorite brands. Thank you very much.